On. Hey everyone, welcome. Welcome to this special edition of the NLG show. This is not Thursday night. Do not adjust your set. There's only two of us on the screen right now. It's a special day. So I want to introduce and welcome back to NLG. He's been on once before, but I want to welcome him back. My man Jay Prime, the generational gamer. What's up, man? How you doing? Yeah. Oh, Niles, like, what's going on? Michael Garvey. Oh boy, here we go. Niall, don't worry, it's okay. You're not drunk, you're not tired. So, welcome, Jay. How's your Monday been? Oh, don't tell me it's Tuesday. Although that's one day closer to the weekend. I know. So how you been? Well, that's good. So all has been well though since the last time I saw you out here. 2 Wednesdays ago. Oh, he says can't hear generational gamer. Hang on a second. Hold on. Try it now. Say something.
Can you hear me now?
It's
like a Verizon.
Oh, you know why? I know why. Because you're the only one on, and you're generally in John's spot. So because no one else is up, their microphone's not their microphone thing on OBS doesn't work. So I had to turn on John's mic, which means I have to remember on Thursday to turn it off, or there's going to be echoing. So.
Yeah,
anyway,
definitely turn off his microphone.
So, yeah. No, nobody turns off John's microphone ever. No. So, anyway. So, how are you doing since I didn't get a chance to hear you earlier?
I'm doing fine. I'm awake. That's always a good start.
That is.
Or end my day.
That is. What is that decently nice shirt with the high score on it you got?
Oh, Space Invaders.
Nice. Very nice.
Or Space Armada, as it should be called. Or
Space Armada. That's right. That's right.
It should be called as part of the Amico Armada.
That's right. We can't do an NLG anything without mentioning Amico. So.
That's right.
All right, but that is actually not why we're here today. So, why we're here today is on August 1st, I came over to your channel, and the link to that first part of this Q&A is in the description of the stream. And hey, Monkey Punch, how you doing, brother?
I don't know who half you are, but hello.
These are my... Well, you know who Michael Garvey is.
I do know who Michael Garvey is. He gives me shit all the time. It's great. Make one comment the wrong time, the wrong way, and he never lets me live it down.
Anyhow, so I was on your channel. You and I had been talking about getting the Marseille mClassic, which is which they bill as a graphics processor.
Oh, you can't see it because
there you go. Your background kind of. You know what? I can grab a picture of it too. I can grab a picture of it.
Mine is not going to do it. All right.
Nah, I'll grab a picture.
Well, I'm glad I brought it over.
Yeah. So the Marseille mClassic, they bill as a graphics upgrade for your consoles, and not just your new stuff, but it's really geared towards the retro consoles, right? Really kind of geared towards that.
And quite frankly, I think it's a waste if you plan to buy it for anything newer than a GameCube or maybe an Xbox or original Xbox.
It's funny you mentioned that because that's one of the things I tested with it. I do find it funny.
Difference?
Yes, actually.
Really?
And I'll tell you about it in a little bit. I don't know that I've got the video, but I've got a couple of videos that are I'm putting together like an entire unboxing and setup video, and what I'm going to show today are a couple of kind of sneak peeks as to what I'm going to be showing people when that video drops. unless I decide, I was thinking about maybe doing it as my my retro segment of the week, either this week or next, as I continue to get into it. But I did use this. So they tell you that it's good on the Xbox One, the PS4, but
Michael Garvey's trolling us again.
Nah, I'm not listening. He doesn't. No. We over Dreamcast. Get out of here.
Yeah, I'm on stream, buddy. You can't come past.
Oh. Hey, bud.
I never let my kids on stream. What'd you say?
Have you ever eaten dinner yet?
Have I eaten dinner? Yes, I have eaten dinner.
Have you ever eaten dinner? Ever in your life? Have you ever eaten dinner?
I've eaten dinner tonight. I plan to eat dinner tomorrow. Yeah, I did. All right.
Gee, I guess. Sorry, he says the same thing as he wants. Smart asses. All right, let me get rid of the logo here. Let me try to fix this so it doesn't look so bad. This thing, huh?
Michael Garvey wrote Michael is greater than Mike. Okay, now it doesn't look like it's.
There we go. There we go. So that's the Marseille mClassic. So,
but you gotta flip it around because the other side's the one that has the little fancy.
Dude, I don't look, man. I'm just this is what I got.
What you got?
This is what I got. I mean, I could go get it. Off of my. Hold on.
Yeah, I could just turn off my.
Oh, you could do that too.
Yeah.
You could do that too.
Let me do that. While you're talking, I'll go do that.
So they talked about how this was the successor to him, and Nicholas Dory. Hi, Nicholas, how you doing? This was the successor to the M cable, which was a cable with a processor in it that made your picture better. So
allegedly, Nick has it, and I borrowed it, and it looks like it doesn't do shit. I'd be quite frank. The mClassic actually does make a difference. Anyway, so here's the buttons.
It does.
So here it would be off. In the middle is for a widescreen, and then all the way down, and it actually has different lights. All the way down is for a 4x3.
Yep, and that's what they talk about is in the off scaling, in the off position. It basically is just a pass through, so doesn't do anything special. When you put it in the middle position, that is when it turns on upscaling, so it'll upscale regular content to 1080, and it'll upscale 1080 content. I'm going to move my light while we're talking, sorry. It's going to upscale 1080 content to 1440p. Now, my TV does not support 1440p, so when I did try it with the PS4, I didn't get anything more than 1080.
Me too. The same problem.
Yeah, even though it says 4K, which is really weird. No,
1440 is its absolute max.
Which is funny because the website says specifically that it will handle it'll take everything up to 1440 or up to 3840 by 2160. So I'm actually not quite sure what their
mClassic. I'm gonna go to the site right now.
Well, I'm gonna bring the site up. I'll do you one better.
There you go. Look at that. Text specs.
Yeah.
Switching connections, blah, 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 lots of blah.
Our scaler delivers an exceptional performance from 500,000 pixels to 2 million pixels, and 2 million pixels to 8 million.
The 14 is the last one.
Look at the picture, though. See, that's...
It doesn't do that, I can tell you that much.
No, I know. So I couldn't get it to do that. So, Niall, we're going to talk about that on Thursday. This is a little more of a targeted show. So,
I did hear about that.
Yes, we're going to talk about it Thursday for sure.
I'm not going to be there on Thursday, so we can divert a little bit of our attention. Not too much, but a little bit.
Maybe at the end. I don't want to give it away because the guys are going to be on Thursday night. I don't want to give away the goods on what we're talking about Thursday, though.
Yeah. I think this is false advertising right here. 4K upscaling, no compromises to resolution or color. And I've played it with God of War. Unless I was standing in front of it, I could not tell a difference.
I couldn't either. And in fact, when I was playing Ghost of Tsushima, it wouldn't go past 1080p. Now I might try it again.
That's not what it's not designed as an upscaler though. It's designed as a smoothing thing.
So maybe that's so.
Feature.
But see, this says 4K
I know.
upscaling. I'm just saying what it says.
I think that's because that's what they're trying to sell it as, but
it's wrong.
So this,
right.
In answer to your question, you said it's Niles.
Nile.
Okay, Nile.
Nile.
So this is an external device that sits in between your console. And truthfully, it can be a DVD player too. It doesn't really matter.
Yep.
A device and an HDMI cable, and it smooths out and upscales the picture. That's really all it does.
So in the way that I was using it, I'm gonna show you. So scaling off means nothing's happening. It's basically, it's basically the raw picture. When you put it in the middle position and that light turns green, it upscales. It redraws every pixel. It does anti-aliasing and things like that. For retro consoles that were 4x3, that gets stretched out by an HDMI cable because they weren't built for that. The retro mode will actually do all that, but it will reshape the picture into a 4x3 output.
It's actually slightly smaller, slightly more narrow, but
yes, it's square.
It's still really good. It's 640 by 480 instead of 720 by 480.
Yeah, so Nicholas has one. Good. And in the chat, Nicholas, by all means, your impressions as well, because so here's what I bought it for myself. The main purpose of my wanting it, and we talked about this when we did the first part of the Q&A on your channel, which generational gamer on YouTube.
Thank you for the shout out.
Yeah, man, of course. I have a Dreamcast, and I bought a couple of different HDMI cables for it. Now I know there's the DC HDMI if I wanted to spend $200 and attempt to solder it myself and all that stuff, but I'm not that good. So I bought a couple of cables. One cable wasn't great. And it washed out the signal really badly, so like the whites were horrible and stuff like that. The second cable I got was the Hyperkin, and the Hyperkin's a decent cable, not bad. It's nothing special, but it does pull what it does is it pulls the raw, what you would get out of the VGA, and basically converts it to HDMI, and the TV outputs at 640 by 480. Now the problem is my Elgato does not accept 640 by 480, so I couldn't stream with it. So that's really the genesis of why I asked you about this and whether or not it would work for me.
Now, I have a very important question for you. Have you tried it on a Genesis?
I do not have a Genesis.
Now, see, that's more blasphemous than saying that Wii U outsold the Sega Dreamcast.
I know. But remember, I did or did not, maybe, mod my Xbox to play my Sega CDs and things like that. So technically, yes, I have a Genesis. Anyway, so that
you have a computer. You basically have a Genesis, right?
Right. So, really I wanted it for the Dreamcast, and I figured if I just got upscaling, and I could stream with it, it would be worth it, because I don't want to spend another. I didn't want to get like the $80 Akira cable. I didn't want to get a RetroTink. I didn't want to get, the OSSC, which is like $300. I just, this was
189 or so,
whatever it was. I didn't want to. Again, I could have bought the DC HDMI, but that thing is also $200. The guy who makes it doesn't have any made at the moment. And I watched, believe it or not, I watched the YouTube of the guy putting it in and soldering it together.
Takes a lot of soldering. Fortunately, the Dreamcast doesn't have much in it.
It doesn't, but I'm also not a soldering guy. So
I still owe you one of these when, where the hell? The last time we talked, yeah, it's probably not even going to show up because...
Oh, is that the soldering wick? Oh, no, that's the
little battery.
Yes, I do need that, and I need to do that because my battery is dead.
Of them, apparently.
I do definitely need to. You know
it's
what?
It's a wicked easy soldering job.
I might be. I think I'm going to be in Owings Mills on Wednesday.
I probably won't be.
Darn it.
But if you want to drop your Dreamcast off, I'll meet up with you somewhere.
Okay. Might. All right, we'll figure that out. So anyway, I went ahead and got it. I brought it home, unboxed it, got it hooked up, and I took a little footage. And I thought I might show a little bit of that while we're talking because I have to tell you, I was really impressed. So what you guys are seeing here is starting with Crazy Taxi.
I don't know, almost looks like a GameCube.
So this is running Crazy Taxi at 1080p. Right now it's in retro mode, and I think that Mockin' X. Oh man, that was a good. I've got the Japanese version of that one. I got the import version of Mockin' X.
They have it has a different soundtrack outside of the U.S., right?
It does.
Yeah. Is it still licensed where it's going to get taken down?
I don't think so. Oh,
come on, let's go make some crazy money.
We'll see. Now, you know what? I'm not going to try. But because I want to show you guys is if you really look at the screen. First off, so I have it switched in retro mode right now. And so it's in 4x3. So you see the bars on the side. Look at the taxi itself. Normally,
very clean.
Not only is it clean, there are no jaggies. There's almost, I say almost because it's not perfect. There's almost no jaggies on the screen at all. Even look at the arrow. The arrow is almost jaggy free. I mean, it is unbelievable how that cleaned up the screen.
If you want to be really impressed, put Dead or Alive 2 in your Dreamcast with the mClassic.
All right, that's my next one up.
Not only is everything upscaled, but it's a whole lot more round. It didn't come out right. Impressive nonetheless.
Man. So
Nick is commenting. He actually lives up your way. I met him through the channel.
Really?
And he lent me his M cable, which I can honestly tell you doesn't do shit. Sorry, man. It was a waste of money, but that's just my humble opinion. I'm pretty adamant about it, but anyway. And then you can stack your mClassics if you want. I don't know why you would. I couldn't tell a difference, but I'm nearsighted, so it doesn't help. So we did, and couldn't really tell any substantial difference. But, having two makes it longer. I mean, that may be how they get to the 4K. 14.4 times 2.
Maybe. 1440, 2160. No.
Well, you're getting closer.
Yeah.
You can keep adding them. I mean, I don't really know I don't know how much better it's going to get. The device itself is only capable of outputting 1440.
I don't know. But the other thing, too, is look how smooth this is. I mean, there is no lag whatsoever. And not only is there no lag, I mean, it's smooth as butter. And of course, Dreamcast games are notorious for being 60 frames per second. This is, I mean, you see it. There's just, it's gorgeous. It is absolutely, the video just popped. My wife, who does not really play games, but she knows what a Dreamcast looks like, I said you got to come down and see this, and I'm gonna give you a little tip of the second video. And again, these are all going to go into a more of an official unboxing kind of video and setup and stuff like that. I'm not going to give
this one.
Yeah, I'm not going to give the goods away. I'm just going to show a little bit more of a little bit of the back end stuff.
Where have I heard that before?
Sorry, hang on. Let's see if that. All right. So this is running it in the 16:9 if I turn off the retro mode.
Yep.
So a little stretched out. But what I wanted people to see, if you even look at, I mean, look how round Sonic is. I mean, he is like a smooth ball when he is spinning.
Well, remember when the Dreamcast and the PlayStation were still in competition with each other? The anti-aliasing was far more. I don't know if it was anti-aliasing. It just didn't have the jaggies like the PlayStation did, particularly the early games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those were like stair steps going down from one character to another. But the Dreamcast never had that. Even Dead or Alive was so much. I keep going back to that one, but I played that a lot back then. I was in college. It's the closest thing to a girlfriend I was going to get at that time was playing Dead or Alive. Anyway, I'm married now with a wife and kids, so thank God those days
you play it when she goes to bed.
My Dreamcast isn't even out.
So why? What is wrong with you?
I don't know.
I don't either. I don't either.
I had to put it away for safekeeping.
But look at this picture. I mean, my wife, again, who I said, does this look like a Sega Dreamcast to you? She goes, no. I said, it is. I mean, she was impressed, and she's not a really big gamer.
I mean, in fairness, if I said that to my wife, she could say yes or no and not know whether she was right or wrong.
She knows what she knows what a Dreamcast is. I met her the second year this was out. So she knows I've had it for this long, and she knows what the games look like. They simply don't look like this.
No.
I
I can't really play Sonic in widescreen because it's just not designed for that, but I see what you're doing. You're just showing its capability. Right. Mike Garvey keeps going, what's a Dreamcast? So Nick is saying, I prefer to use the mClassic with the GameCube and a Carby, and he's 100% right. The GameCube is absolutely the sweet spot for this. And if you try a PS2, you'll think so as well. The Xbox has higher resolutions than both of those because it can go up to 1080i, I believe. And
yes,
the Xbox is pretty good, but it also has built-in anti-aliasing, so it's really not going to do as much. So
it wasn't hardware. It wasn't necessarily. It wasn't necessarily.
The Dreamcast didn't have hardware anti-aliasing. Not the Dreamcast. The Xbox.
The Xbox. It wasn't baked in, because there are a lot of games that looked pretty jaggy. You had to. It wasn't built into the silicon. None of it really hasn't been built in for a long time.
Okay.
But the mClassic this just. I'm going to go back to Crazy Taxi. This really adds a level of shine that I was just not expecting. I really wasn't expecting. Let me see. Did I get the bigger? Maybe I got the bigger Sonic. Oh, wait a minute.
Hey, I actually have a playlist of every video I've ever done with this, and it's getting quite extensive.
I'll put that.
I sent it to you in the PM or DM, whatever the hell they're called.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff Roll.
I know. I just said hi to him too. It's amazing. Sega Sports Arcade.
Oh, Virtua Tennis. That's the other game. That's the other game I want to show. And again, so one of the reasons that I wanted to show this game was when I showed off the last HDMI cable that I got that did output enough in true 720, it upscaled it just enough. It totally washed out the colors.
Yep.
But if you watch this video, the mClassic not only has brought this up to 1080p, and I think sometime in this video I turn on the retro mode, so I start off in 16:9, but somewhere in here I just wanted to show that unlike that other cable that I bought, this does not mess with the color scheme at all.
No, it's great. It actually makes them more lush.
Yes, look at the players. I mean, the players look rounded and I mean this could say what you want. This could pass for an Xbox game. This could pass an early Xbox. This could pass for an early Xbox game. I mean, it looks that good. So Graphic God, who's in the chat, he showed me a picture of an RCA. He's got a composite switch box, and he goes from composite to HDMI. So according to Marseille, the mClassic would absolutely clean that up. So, hey, Supersonic Station. What's up, man?
I plugged the mClassic into my Intellivision. Or I plugged my Intellivision into the mClassic. Intellivision to VCR, VCR to RetroTink, RetroTink to mClassic, and then I had 1080p on the Intellivision.
Oh, that's funny.
And it still looked like shit.
What?
So the VCR introduced a lot of noise, and the mClassic improved the noise to make it more visible.
By the way, just to let you know, coming off of playing a couple of weeks of Outlaw Tennis, I suck at this because in Virtua Tennis you don't load up your button, so you don't see. I go to hit it thinking I'm gonna wind up, and I just. But look at this. This is the behind the back scene. Look how just crisp and smooth the player is. I mean, look at that. That is it's so amazing looking.
When did this game come out? 2001?
The first one was 2000. Yeah. I think it was 2000.
Yeah.
Because there were 3 of them, I think.
Yeah, they didn't come out. This is the only one I believe that came out on the Dreamcast.
Dazzy baby, what's up, Bald Daz? So yes, I can't wind up my shot, so I keep missing a lot. But the Dreamcast at 1080, and there's no visible loss. If you look at the court, there's no
1 and 2 were on Dreamcast as Graphic God.
Correct.
Okay.
The third one was on Xbox before Sega sold off to 2K.
Oh, okay.
But if you look, I mean, even the upscaled grass, it doesn't have any visible signs of a usual upscaling. Blurriness, stuff like that. It's all razor sharp. The net is all is razor sharp. I mean, it's just. I couldn't when I started to play this, I couldn't. I'm ignoring both Daz and Michael Garvey. It's like a twofer. It's like a twofer.
Sega did make consoles way back until they let the Dreamcast kill their dream.
Right.
So, anybody else find it ironic that one of the reasons Sega didn't get EA Sports is because they had their own sports studio that they eventually sold off after they stopped making consoles, which had they just done that early on, they would have had EA, may not had to kill their console off early?
Well, EA's issue with Sega went, yes, it was kind of like that. So in the Saturn days, because EA was such a big presence on the Genesis, EA, when the Saturn came out, wanted to be the kind of exclusive. Yep. And Bernie Stolar, wow, Bernie Stolar said, "No, I've got these studios
they
here."
They just bought them, actually, or they just stood them up. Something.
Yeah, I've got these studios. We're gonna make sports.
The Dreamcast is gone. They're just making software now. They sell that studio.
I know.
Which would help save the Dreamcast in the first place.
Oh, I know. But all and it's funny because EA. So here's how much power EA has. EA is why Microsoft gave up their sports studios too. Microsoft had a great set of sports games. And then they had this. Then they were the first ones out of the gate with like a sports network, SXN Sports. that was
I do
awesome.
remember that.
And in order to placate EA, to bring EA into Xbox Live, they gave up their sports line. Now, Peter
Sony
Moore
had one too. It's $9.89 sports.
Well, yeah, which is now Sony Santa Monica.
Yeah, they still have sports. I haven't really followed.
Oh yeah, MLB The Show is still the best baseball game on the market.
Oh,
Has been for a long time. They don't do football because EA owns football.
you know, the entire NFL.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but their big game is The Show.
yeah.
So,
Show.
so all right. So here's where I turn it into retro mode. I flip the switch, so it's going to flicker for a second, and it's going to go to 4:3.
So one of the things I use the mClassic for is anything that defaults to 16:9. Out of sheer laziness, so I don't have to constantly switch it.
Right.
I bought the. Hey Nick, what's the name of that little retro thing from Retrobit? I cannot remember. Super Retrocade, and that has the option to change it to 4:3, but every game by default is 16:9. It is so freaking annoying.
I don't know, I'll be honest with you. I am not that guy. Like my other friend, that helped me kind of talk about this, and he talks to me about HDMI cables and stuff. John Meadows from the Gamers Lounge. He hates that I play these games in 16:9. Like it bothers it bothers him.
That's blasphemy.
Well, you know what? I am not that kind of guy. I do not need. Now, I'll make one exception, and I didn't bring these videos over because I want to put them in the video I'm making. But the Sega Saturn, I need to do that. And in fact, I think I need to get a different cable for my Saturn that does not upscale, because the Hyperkin Saturn cable, while I love it and I bought it because of you, I realize it upscales to 720p, and the mClassic doesn't do much for it in 3D stuff. Earthworm Jim looked great because it cleaned up some of the.
I would assume it'd be the other way around.
Nah,
but if it's not in the native resolution, it's not going to do much of anything.
Yeah, all it did was really bring that already scaled up picture just up to 1080.
Right, and forced it into 4:3. I don't remember. Does the Saturn one?
The Hyperkin Saturn cable does have a 4:3 switch.
Okay, it does.
Yes,
Well,
and
just
if you do that plus the retro mode,
it's like this thick, right?
Yeah. So,
I messed with it already. I think the Hyperkin I have, one of the cables I have for it, I tried it with. It's like, oh wow, that really looks like hell. I'm not going to do that anymore. And I did.
Let's see if I have that other Sonic video. I'll give it a little taste.
If you really want to see nothing happen, check it on a side-scrolling 16-bit game. It's not going to do much at all.
Well, I'm going to try it. So I did try it with Project Gotham Racing on the Xbox.
That's 3D racing. That should look good.
It very much smoothed out it did look very good. It does improve the Xbox, and what I'm going to do tonight is take a look at my Sega CD and 32X games running off of that. And I think what I'm going to do...
you just confirmed it.
Well, I can't confirm nor deny.
Nick, I do have your Saturn Hyperkin cable. That's right. I put it back in the box because I'm using the Retro Tank and the HD Retrovision cables. That's how you'll get the best Saturn. You're spending the money for it, but because you need the Genesis cables, which are like $65. You need something to transcode the component into HDMI, and then you need the Saturn to Genesis adapter. So that's how I've got it connected. In fact, I had to go looking for the adapter. I didn't know it was in there. I had to pull out the Hyperkin. But yes, you're right. Thank you. This is the one that I used to make the video.
Aha. So Anyway, oh my God, Garvey. I know what he's trying to do.
Well, what is he trying to do? Fill me in. I'm not too sure what he's trying.
That's
to
all right. He's got to get on with Pete on Friday. It's okay.
That's all right. I think I know what he's doing too.
I'll be there. I'll be there PM in the PM. Don't worry.
If I'm awake, I'll be there too.
Oh, but so the only issue that I have with the Dreamcast, and this is where I could really use your input. So did you use this with the Dreamcast at all? Did you ever pull your Dreamcast out? All right.
I have quite a few videos with the Dreamcast.
Okay. What cable did you use? What HDMI cable did you use? Or did you go component
I have used Hyperkin, and I don't have component yet. They haven't released it yet. And honestly, I don't really know if I'll buy it, because they're definitely not going to send me one. I've used Hyperkin, Keiko, and Pound with it so far.
All right. I've heard a lot about the Keiko cable. So here's what's happening. So remember how I was telling you that coming out of my receiver, the Dreamcast just blinked and blinked and blinked?
Yeah.
And I read in the book, it was funny, the book says that you can't use this with a switch, with an HDMI switch. So I'm thinking to myself, well, so much for that. But then on their website, I guess this is the newer version of the mClassic, it says, well, yes, you could use it with a switch. So I went out.
Switch all the time.
So I went out and I got a Koopman 4-port HDMI switch.
Is it powered?
Yes.
Okay. The only ones I've ever had an issue with are the ones that aren't powered.
All right. Well, this one's powered.
Okay.
I get a drop. I get a video drop once in a while. It's not frequent, but it's maybe once every 3 or 4 minutes the screen will drop for a second. But it doesn't. But when I was recording, it doesn't drop the signal to the Elgato. It only drops the signal to the TV. So when it blanks out here, I can still see the picture on the Elgato. It doesn't break that connection.
Okay, I have to ask the question then. Have you tried it without the Elgato connected? I'm
going to do that next and just play with it and just play.
It's going to be that.
That's my suspicion too. Here's the kicker. It doesn't do that with the Saturn or the Xbox. I probably put 2 hours into the Saturn.
Yeah, but the Saturn, you're using a 720p cable. It's being upscaled artificially.
Yeah, but this is being upscaled artificially.
And what's the other one? Well, this is 480p. It's where it maxes out.
Right.
And that's its native resolution.
That's its native resolution.
And if you're going to use... Well,
no, I'm sorry. This is not 480p. Let me clarify. The Dreamcast does not do 480p. The Dreamcast does 640 by 480 VGA.
Okay.
So that's important.
It's a little bit weird, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Well, because that was a VGA signal at the time. Was 640 by 480 was a VGA resolution.
If I plugged it in, it's recognized it as 480p on my TV. So I don't really know what to tell you on that one.
I think it's going to depend on the cable. If you use your Hyperkin, unless your TV scales it up, my TV does not. So when I put mine in,
how new is your TV? Mine's pretty old.
Mine's from last year.
Mine is from about a decade ago.
All right. So when I put it in and I do the source and I look at the resolution, it says 640 by 480. That's why the Elgato doesn't work, because the Elgato does not accept a 640 by 480 signal. So
mine doesn't care.
But like I said, as you can see here, this video is going on for like 3 or 4 minutes. There's no drop at all, even if my screen drops. My Saturn.
What about at the change of resolution? Does it do that at all in this game?
No.
Okay.
I'm not aware of a dynamic resolution on any Dreamcast game.
Okay.
So the other issue is, or the other console that I used it with, the Xbox, also did not drop at all.
Yeah,
It
that makes
only
sense.
dropped with the Dreamcast. So the next thing I am going to do is I'm going to try it without the Elgato and see if that works. If the issue is the Elgato is what is causing the jitter, and that's what officially Marseille says causes this is line jitter. Nicholas, thank you so much for stopping by. Hopefully you'll stop by on Thursday on our regular show. We got a lot to talk about, and I'll have to find out how close to me you actually are. I'm in Harford County. Oh, since J Prime says you're closer to me than he is.
You are
Okay, so
much closer.
all right. Oh, okay. I'm in Abingdon. I am right down the street from you, sir.
Yeah, I figured as much.
That's exactly where yep, I know where he is.
Yeah.
So, yep. I'm Philadelphia Road between Belcamp and
You were
24.
giving way too much personal information over the internet, dude.
Who's gonna? What do people? Look, you can. What have I got to hide? I'm not one of those. So, anyhow, all right, that's good. That's okay. That's good. Yes, we definitely need to meet up one day. That's all right, Michael. You got okay. I got to bow down to that one. That was good. I got to give him that one. So let me put see Crazy Taxi back on too. See if I can get. Yeah, I know. I wish I could do the audio. The audio is some of the best part of that game.
I know. You know what? I used to listen to The Offspring when I was at that age anyway. And it was Bad Religion and Offspring were the two main bands of that game. And I used to have both of them on my Samsung music player, Discman. And I'd blast that music in my car. And I felt like I was in a Crazy Taurus. Offspring! Yeah, Supersonic Station. You know, we passed that in Sonic. I'm almost certain it was in that game. I haven't played it since I beat it.
Oh.
So for the Dreamcast 20th birthday or whatever, most recent, yeah, I guess it was the 20th last year, I got myself a nice copyright claim playing music from that game.
See, that's why
side by side.
That's why I'm not doing it. I could do it for like 5 seconds, right? We can give like 5 seconds, as long as you don't.
Hey, it's time to make some crazy money.
I got
ready?
copyright
Here
claim
we
in
go.
grade 4, and I was talking over.
That's all you get. That's all you get. That's all people are gonna get.
And I fought it, and they eventually backed down.
No. So it really does. I mean, this was the games that I have not yet put into this to try out. So I'm gonna put in Dead or Alive, because on your recommendation.
It looks phenomenal. I did a side by side on that one. I got a copyright claim on that for the music. It's a good video.
I now that I think of it, I got to put Jet Grind Radio in.
That one, yeah, you don't make a video on that one. That one has licensed music too.
Yeah, but you know what? I did a stream with that last year and did not get a strike for it. I didn't
not
get hit.
Strike, a claim.
A claim, rather. I didn't get a hit for it. I also don't monetize. So we don't monetize at NLG at all. So they kind of leave us alone unless it's egregious. Unless you're the WWE, then they just don't let you even show their trailers for their games that look like they're going to suck.
Benefits of monetization besides the quarter you make on a view or whatever it is. I'm not into that yet anyway. The benefit is that Google will be more apt to recommend your videos because it ranks you higher.
Oh, really?
If you're monetized. Yeah. So that's why I'm really pushing to get to that 1,000, because if I get to that 1,000,
it's
I can
not
monetize
just no,
my
it's
video
not.
to be ranked
It's not
higher.
it's not
I
just
already have
1,000.
the watch time.
You do. Well,
I've had
yeah, I
it
guess you do because you
Wow.
got. Yeah, that's true because your videos are hot. So
Some of them. My
Yeah.
my Hyperkin for the Nintendo consoles is over 15,000 views. I almost
Nice.
fell over when I saw that.
That's incredible.
That's where the channel started to grow. Before that, I was like 60 people wanted to watch me, and then they kept leaving. So, yeah, but I mean, I've got the watch time. The only thing I'm missing is the subscriber count. So anybody, please subscribe.
Yes, yes. Please subscribe to J Prime.
I do try to answer every single comment as well.
Look, so the truth of the matter is that I bought my Saturn Hyperkin on his videos recommendation. So, or at least not recommendation. I know you say you don't recommend. You just show it. But your video, it's how I met you before I actually met you. It's how I knew you before I met you, and that video showed. I was like, yeah, okay, I got to get the Hyperkin. And don't get me wrong,
Saturn and Nick's Hyperkin cable.
Yeah, I'm not. Look, I'm also not. I'm not sorry that I got the Hyperkin cable, and maybe, there does come a point to where there's diminishing returns on an older console. I mean,
you know what? I think I did a Hyperkin versus RetroTink side by side. I'm not 100%. I gotta look. I think it's pretty negligible if I remember. I mean, I've seen both of them.
Yeah, I mean, you really can only do so much with that and PlayStation.
It's in the Saturn playlist.
There's only so much you can do. I
can't post a link to yours because it won't let me, but
Saturn. No, it doesn't do links in the chat.
I have 13 videos on the Saturn. No, I didn't. No, I did not. I never did a side-by-side with those. That's stupid of me. I did the pound. I did the pound cable. I did the Hyperkin cable. And I did a bunch with the RetroTink. But I never compared them side by side. I'm really missing out.
Peter, brother Peter. So Peter, who has not experienced the Dreamcast, he's,
okay. I don't see a Peter on the. Is that
HDK? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hello, Peter.
So
I've seen you in my streams before too. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, we support, man. We support good people. That's how it works. If you're a good if you're a good guy and you do good, and you're positive, which you are most of the time.
I like to entertain.
You're right, but you're, like you, Pete, and Jeremy, and Rich, and and Creep, and all these guys are just really positive. And yes, honest. Honest is always good. So. Well,
yeah, if somebody needs to be told to go to hell, I'll be happy to do it.
I'll be sure to hire you. But so one of the bottom lines here is we've rambled on, is that the Saturn has diminishing returns as far as how much I think you can squeeze, and you did say that you did say I wasn't going to get see, look, and Peter says this Crazy Taxi looks better than the 360 version, or was it the OG Xbox? I think it was the OG Xbox that had Crazy Taxi, but I'm not 100% sure. No, it was 360. It was in their arcade. No, but I think they had it in their arcade. But yeah, so this is what Peter, this is a console from 1999 with a game from 2000, and this mClassic makes it look like this. This is not emulated.
That's still one of my favorite versions of this game, and I have this game on this, PS2, GameCube, PSP, and PS3, because they did release the bastardization of the music on the PSP, and then they remastered it, i.e. stretched it, for the PS3 and upscaled it.
But I mean, it's sharp. Game. I mean, but the visuals on this, it's sharp, but
Yep.
it's not. You know, it's sharp, but the anti-aliasing takes care of a lot of the weird jaggy stuff, and just everything just looks so good. I mean, I can't get over this is running on this is native Sega Dreamcast.
$99.99, and I actually played this shortly before it was released in the U.S. because the software testing house that I worked at, two guys, they were brothers, and they imported theirs from Japan, and I was playing Virtua Fighter 3. I don't think it was the TV version, because it was the Japanese one, and Sonic Adventure before this thing was ever released in the U.S., and it was awesome back then.
But just such a sharp picture, like bright and sharp, but not so bright that it washed out the whites. Like
Check it out
like
on the GameCube or the Wii.
So the Wii, I gotta I have to figure that out because I don't have an HDMI cable for the Wii.
You don't need
I
one.
have. I'll tell you what though.
I wonder one works fine.
I wonder what. I'll have to get one.
So I've done a handful of videos on that too. So most of the time with the Wii, what the hell do I use with the Wii? I usually downscale my Wii U because if you use the Wii U with the 1080p or the 720p, you're not going to get any kind of benefit. So I do have a Wii, and I have I have a component to HDMI adapter, which will work fine as well. But if you run into the RetroTink, unless the game doesn't go any higher than 480i, the RetroTink does nothing for you. So you have to use some other solution. But I also have this adapter that just plugs into the back. It's called a Portholic Wii to HDMI. It's crap, but it gets the job done for most cases. And then you just run the run the mClassic directly from the back of the Wii into the HDMI, and you're good to go.
Okay.
But the GameCube, holy crap. My kids were playing Mario Party on the GameCube. Yes, my preteen kids will play the GameCube. And, yes, that is true, Pete. What's HTK 360's name? Peter?
Peter. Yeah.
Peter. That is true, but you will not get the benefit with the mClassic if you just use it naturally. You need to drop it down to 480p so it's natural, and then you'll see a difference on it. Some Elgatos don't like that.
With a capital R. But I do wonder, I honestly do wonder, you did say to me that the Saturn would have diminishing returns.
Yeah, it's
and you know what, I'll tell you what.
PlayStation is too.
Give me 1 second. Let me grab my other laptop, and I'll tell you why. So,
the Saturn actually has a higher resolution than the PlayStation, if I remember right.
I'm going to really quick copy over one of the Saturn videos that I did, so you can see it, because I did Burning Rangers. And
I haven't played that game. I know it's very expensive today.
It is. It's very expensive.
Do you have it complete?
Yes, I do.
Very nice. You bought it new, didn't you?
Way back in the day, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to copy this over. And the it's not that big. It's only 2 gigs, so it'll only take a minute to come over.
Peter's firing Crazy Taxi on the Xbox 360 backwards compatibility.
There you go. But I mean, it's that good. I mean, the game is simply, this is what, I mean, my wife, I'm not kidding, said, that doesn't look like a Dreamcast. Yes, it is. There it is. So, all right, let's see. In a moment, that video is going to come over, and then I'll show that. The problem is, I don't know if the problem is, again, that the Hyperkin's already upscaling.
Yeah.
From 240p to 720p.
Yep, that's pretty much it.
So what I might need to do, I wonder if there is an HDMI cable that will simply pass through the 240p signal. And I don't know the answer to that.
I wonder if the Level Hike does. Level Hike's the only other one I can think of. Keiko doesn't have one. At least not yet. I don't remember if they're coming out with one or not. Let me see if Level Hike has a Saturn. Level Hike Saturn.
Just turn this thing off and.
Honestly, they didn't really exactly win me over. Level Hike. Convert and upscale. Yeah, okay, so I'm already tuned out of this one. But it does 16:9 or 4:3, but it doesn't say what resolution it'll make it.
I mean, the other thing that I just... See, I don't want to spend a lot of money either, so... Does the RetroTink 2X, does that have S-Video input?
Yes. It has composite, S-Video, and component. But it can only go up to 480i. For input, it outputs at 480p.
How much is that?
The original one is now 80 or 90. I think it's 80. And then the Pro is 130.
Yeah, see, that's too rich for my blood.
Well, I mean, you're gonna... Let's see, we're talking about the Saturn S-Video.
Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, I think the Saturn S-Video might actually be an improvement.
Well, the Saturn
because
S...
it's going to blur it a bit, as opposed to component.
Oh, the Saturn S-Video was probably some of the... Like, I've seen videos where they compare the Saturn S-Video to SCART, which is really, if you were going to do it right...
Right, that was RGB, I know. They have that.
Just...
And that was what people were using before the HD Retrovision cables came out for the Genesis.
Right. Somebody had put up a comparison video of S-Video versus SCART, and you almost couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, well, because of the way, I mean, S-Video, it divvies up the signal, not to the extent of RGB like SCART does, but it does divvy up the luminance and separates it enough that it makes it very clean.
I think I may actually have something that may benefit you down the line. I'm trying to look. I'm almost positive I already recorded this. Not to give away everything, but whatever. Where somebody asked me a while ago if I could do a comparison between S-Video with the mClassic and VGA with the mClassic. And I think I've already recorded that. I just kind of got away from me. Hydro Thunder. Yeah, I did. Okay, on the Dreamcast. Hydro Thunder was my test game.
It's a good test game.
It's an awesome game, too. Oh, well, you know what? It was with and without it, because Hydro Thunder won't play with
VGA. With the VGA. Right.
I got to redo it. It's too pixelated.
So that's one of the reasons I'm okay with that, because I have Hyper Thunder. I have Hydro Thunder. Hydro Thunder Hurricane on.
Is that a remake?
Yes.
That's awesome.
It is. It's
right
truly,
there is the reason I need to get an Xbox.
Yeah,
Hydro Thunder is one of my favorite games.
They did it justice. The developer that put that together does such a good job.
Yeah.
So says the Xbox 360 version of what? Of Hydro Thunder? I don't remember it looking that bad. I mean, when it became BC on the Xbox One, it looked really good.
They fixed it?
Yeah. Oh no, he said Crazy Taxi. Looks like so.
Okay.
Yeah, but that speaks to the. I mean, in honesty, and I'm look. I've had no contact with Marseille. I bought this through Amazon because I figured if I didn't like it, Amazon would take it back. Marseille did not send me this. I paid for it.
Me too.
So everything that I'm saying is purely because I truly do. There's expectations, and then there's what I got. And the expectation was simply that I was going to be able to stream Dreamcast games. What I got was this. This looks like on my 75-inch TV with my mouth hitting the ground and going, "Oh my God, this is not my Dreamcast. This turned my Dreamcast into an arcade box, a super arcade box."
BD Joe!
So,
Yeah, I bought mine during the Indiegogo campaign, so it cost me $75 instead of the normal $100. And in hindsight, I should have gotten 2 of them, because you could have. There were different campaigns for the crowdfunding, and I could have gotten 2 and sold one. But that's just thinking a little bit later. But I only bought the one, and also I could have stacked them, like I said earlier. There's so many options.
all right, let's see. Almost downloaded.
I'm gonna you need to get a NAS, and then all your stuff will be in one.
Well, it's on my OneDrive, and that's yeah. But what I do to make my videos is I have the hold on one second.
I brought my network to a crawl today. I was very upset by it.
All right, it's almost ready. Once it's downloaded, I'll show this, and then we'll break because I do want to actually get some gaming in.
Yeah, you need to get some gaming in.
I know. So, but this is I could watch this over and
I'm
over.
telling you,
which I
check out a GameCube. You need to have either a Carby, an Eon, a Keiko. It doesn't matter. Anything that uses a GC video, and it will look.
Keiko keeps sounding. Everybody keeps going back to that. So I've heard Keiko a few times now. So
Keiko has sent me stuff. That's the reason why I don't give. It's the reason why I just simply compare it to something else. And take a look at the videos to see if you see an improvement. It looks the same. One looks better than the other, but I am familiar with a lot of their stuff because of that. And I actually put a disclaimer right at the beginning of my video. Crazy Taxi is not on the Sega Mini, unfortunately. Burning Rangers, damn, that looks good.
Does it? Well, no.
Yeah.
Okay, so hold on. Let me not say it that way. And maybe I need to go back and play it. Maybe I need to go back and hook up. I can't hook up S-Video because my TV doesn't take it. Maybe I have to hook up Composite. But this is running.
Okay, so
at,
one of the problems with the Sega Saturn is that everything in it's very blocky, kind of like the Fire. Even the character models. Pick up, what are other Sega Saturn games that you have that you could test it on?
So I tested it on.
Die Hard Arcade I was playing today. I could spot that one in a heartbeat.
Yep, Dynamite Cop.
Yep. Well, Dynamite Cop was the Dreamcast sequel.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't. You know what? I actually don't have Die Hard Arcade. I've got Dynamite Cop. Sorry, but that looked phenomenal too. By the way,
yes.
I tried it on Earthworm Jim 2, which did look good, and I showed that little itty bitty. Oh come on! You don't think I don't have all of Tommy Tallarico's games? I tried it on that Burning Rangers. I tried it on. You know what? I'll copy one more over. That I think you'll. Clockwork Knight. I did it on Clockwork Knight.
That one, is that polygonal or is that sprite based?
It's a
basically
mix.
The polygonal ones are the ones that you're going to see some kind of a difference. And see, what I'm looking at right here is that Fire actually looks like a bunch of little sprites being thrown together.
Well,
the character model looks polygonal.
It's the second chip.
Yes.
So they were
actually one of the few. Well, I mean, the designers of the console are the only ones who actually knew how to use it.
Well, yes, that was part of the problem.
Yes, I know.
All right, I'm going to copy this last video over.
Okie doke. Burning Rangers looks sweet.
It's a great game. And maybe the Dreamcast makes this look bad by, makes it look bad by comparison. I mean, keep in mind this is a 32-bit system. This and the PlayStation were, they did polygons and stuff, but they were never. I mean, all games kind of look like this. So maybe
there were
that's
all
what I mean.
games from that generation were blocky.
Yes,
Very blocky.
And so
except for the N64, they were blurry.
Yes, and so the expectation, as you said in part 1 of the Q&A, which we can find over on your channel, is
I like the N64. Star Fox 64 is still one of my favorite games. It's my last favorite Star Fox game. It's actually, quite frankly, it's the only Star Fox
Sam.
game I care about. And hey, Sam. And
hang on,
it looks
downloading.
Marginally better, but it doesn't look phenomenal. Hydro Thunder, I've been playing that one a lot lately on the N64. And it doesn't hold a candle to the Dreamcast, even with this, but it looks better. It was a later game, so it wasn't really early. But even Mario 64, there may not be many... what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think. It may not be all that elaborate in design. See, I'll just make it more complicated.
Gotcha.
It may be simplistic in design, but the graphics, they're definitely smoothed out a bit.
Okay. Don't mind me here. I couldn't.
Another one. Ocarina looked pretty good with it too.
Don't mind me here. I did not know where I was going.
That's all right. I don't even know what you're doing.
We're trying to fight fires.
I don't see any fires.
Well, because I'm doing a good job of it right now.
Oh, okay.
But you see where it says limit 11% on the side there?
Yes.
That's how much the fire has spread to the building I'm in. So it's 12%. All right, so I'm almost got it downloaded, and this will be
a common thing with this generation is draw-in and clipping.
Oh, yes.
You see it all the time.
Oh, draw-in.
The draw distance was so short back then.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's see.
And you'll get stuck in a wall almost all the time in any game back then. It's like,
yep. Oh, yeah. All right, is this it? Let's see. There we go. So this is Clockwork Knight.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, the
boxes look pretty smooth.
Yeah, they do. I mean, this game looks good on its own.
So one of the other things I've noticed, since most of the time when I do recordings, unless I'm specifically doing a side-by-side comparison, Mike Garvey is drawing my attention with his comments.
He has that ability.
Anyway,
he has it.
When I use the RetroTink, I almost always put smoothing on. You will notice a substantial difference and lack of quality if you do not put smoothing on before the mClassic. I mean, it's pretty substantial, and it's significantly better if you put it on there and then put the mClassic on to further smooth it and to upscale it.
Okay, so this with the Hyperkin, and again, it's been so long since I've played this, I totally forgot you could pick up the footballs. But what I did was the Hyperkin is in 4x3 mode, and I kept the full
okay
mode.
So a little trick with this, since you're using the mClassic with it, put it in 16:9 and use the mClassic's 4x3.
Oh, I see. Okay, so what's the difference then?
It should look a little bit better.
All right, I will try that.
Just a hair. But it should look better. That's what I've been told.
All right.
I don't have any of this stuff to test it in my house.
But that'll be my next test then.
Yeah, you might like it a little bit better because it's going to be more natural.
Right. Now, again, there's only so much that it's going to do on a platform like this. I mean, the Saturn had
a low poly count.
Right.
A lot of it, you can see the sprites in there.
Absolutely.
Because that's what the console was originally designed for. I know that's blasphemy, but it was designed to be a very high-powered 2D sprite-based system.
Yes, and it wasn't.
They quickly changed it.
They had to because the PlayStation came out with
And
a very
N64.
powerful. Well, the N64 it wasn't as much of a threat to them as the PlayStation. When Ridge
Years
Racer,
down the line.
yeah, but Microsoft, Sega knew where their bread and butter was, and it wasn't
It was the same
know,
market.
right.
Nintendo was going after the kids.
Right.
That sounds terrible.
They went. It was a response to Sony's 3D capabilities, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But this was.
Yeah, I mean any of these ones that you have that are artificially making it 4:3, change it to 16:9 and then try it. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, I
think my kid's sleeping already, but he would like that.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a lot of this that looks smooth. I mean, you're right. It did smooth that out a bit, very much so. It did smooth it out a bit.
So those boxes are polys. The character on the screen, she's a sprite.
Oh,
and
most definitely.
And I wouldn't expect any sprite-based graphics to be modified one iota. The polygons, absolutely. And even that looks sprite-based. I wouldn't expect any change there or here.
You know, the Saturn, like I said, I get the diminishing returns on the Saturn. And I'm okay with that. The Saturn
little
looked good.
clockwork guy right there, he looks like a Teletubby.
Yeah, I know. So, but the Dreamcast was really what blew me away. And then you know, the Xbox stuff, and I'm going to do some more Xbox testing because there's a few games on the Xbox I would like to see how it looks. I mean, yes.
Things before you do the test, be mindful of this. If the game, just because the game can support 1080i or can support 480p, if it wasn't designed for that, don't use it. Let mClassic do the work.
Yeah, most games, and most games starting in like the second year of the Xbox were all 480p. There were very few that were not, and then there were some for. Now I have the pound cable for the Xbox. I'm not sure I like it. I might have to switch to the Hyperkin on that too. So Sam, let me know in the chat there what you think of the quality of the Hyperkin, because I got the pound cable because Peter got the pound cable, and I'm not sure if I like it.
Isn't it just simply a component to HDMI adapter?
Kinda. So maybe they're all the same.
I wouldn't expect too much out of that.
Okay.
I actually interviewed one of the co-founders of Pound.
I know.
You watch all of it? I think he mentioned
I watched the first part of it. I got to watch the second part of it.
Yeah.
So, and I'm going to tweet that out for you too, because that was a great. Well, dude, that's a great get. So you know, if you're telling me by your eyeballs that this looks good, I'll take your word for it. Like I've always
good for Saturn, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, does it look marginally?
I played it today with the M. No, I didn't use the mClassic. I just used the Retro Tank with it today, and Dynamite Deca or Die Hard, because they had to put Bruce.
Yeah, I know.
Whatever.
I don't know why I got rid of
John
that
McClane in it, even though he looks nothing like him. And I don't remember there being a lady that was kicking ass in that movie too, but that's a whole other thing. It looks okay. It's very, very blocky, which was the style of the console.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just the way it was designed.
That's what it was like back then.
Most games look like that. You're not going to get that much better with it.
No.
The Dreamcast is a different story. It was designed at a much higher resolution. It was much more modern technology. And to think that they could have used 3DFX and chose not to, might have kept the console.
And I'll tell you what, I think what I'm going to do is, so I have the ability within the Xbox with the, it's not RetroArch, it's libretto, it's some form of libretto. I have the ability to not run those in 1080 or 720. I might run those down in 480 and see if the mClassic makes it look better.
Oh, Sam has the Pound, not the Hyperkin.
Okay. So maybe that's the best it's going to be. So, again, it looked good. It just, I don't know. There was some, I don't know. Maybe I need to plug the USB into a different plug or something, because I've got some lines and some noise on the screen that I'm not happy with. But it might just be the way it is. So my verdict on this, and just for one more time's sake, I'm going to go back to the virtual tennis. Was this worth $100 for me? Believe it or not, I'm going to say yes. The Dreamcast stuff, which was, again, the main purpose that I bought it, blew me away.
If you don't mind, can you go to my page and pull up a GameCube game where it's doing a side-by-side?
Yeah.
Preferably, like Wave Race. I did a Wave Race recently. Do that one.
Okay.
Because, you'll see... No. I want a GameCube, not an N64. I'm looking to see what I have here. No, that's not what I want.
Well, I'll just do a search on your page for N64.
No. Do GameCube. Don't do N64.
You want GameCube. You just said.
GameCube. I know. I'm tired. You can also do PS2. I've got a couple with Outrun. Outrun 2006 was awesome on this.
Oh, I gotta play that. I got the Xbox version. Now I need to see that through the
Take a look at it on my PS2. 480.
Let's see.
It's on my page. Here, hold on. I'm going to the PlayStation 2. And let's see. Yeah, this one's only 7 minutes long. This one's not too bad. It's with the Retro Tank, the mClassic.
And it's Outrun? Yeah, here it is. Outrun Coast to Coast. I got it.
Yeah, it's November 16th, 2019.
Hold on a sec.
That doesn't look like it.
That does not. That does.
But basically, souped up GameCube. Now they're not 100% in sync because I had to put two videos together, but I did my best. You can probably skip the intro.
There we go.
I did more GameCubes than this.
So, which one is which?
The mClassic's on the right. I always do the mClassic on the right. And
so
you
I can tell you,
ahead.
even with the compression, the trees on the right are much nicer. The buildings on the right are much nicer.
Words, everything is cleaner.
Yeah.
So that's with the Retro Tank. Smoothing is on, and then the mClassic. So I just simply played it twice. Where is F-Zero? F-Zero looks amazing on this thing.
And you're running this at 30 frames per second, so this isn't even running at native frame rate.
Nope. That was an older video. Let me see. Is this the one that...
Now I need to go and play this. I need to see what this looks like on the Xbox or the M cable.
Here, I'm going to send you a link for a second. This one's with Kaiko Labs and F-Zero and Mario Kart, and you can skip over my review or my discussion about it. I'm sending it to you in the PM. Oh no, F-Zero doesn't look too good. It's way too compressed. Forget that one.
Okay. So
I hate when you do stuff like that.
well, here's your Outrun 2006 live stream. Let's see if that looks any
That
good.
one goes on for a while. I was just playing. That was one of my earliest live streams.
Yeah, but good grief, that looks good. Hang on.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, that looks good. That looks hot.
Yeah,
and that's even
the
with
PS2 version, not the Xbox version, which always looks better.
And that's even with the compression on the YouTube.
Yep.
And it still looks
And that's
really
our
good.
live stream, so you're going to lose quality just by doing it. as a
So
live stream.
Jeff said, did you guys try this with the Switch? There was talk of that improving things. I don't have a Switch.
It's negligible. I've done a few of them on the Switch. I just recently did an Animal Crossing on the Switch. Let me find the link for that one. Basically, everything... Mike, can you share out my playlist for mClassic? It's got...
yeah, let's see.
It's in the chat. It's got a million... Well, not a million. It's got a lot of mClassic things in there. All walks of life. Some of the early ones I'm not too proud of, but I haven't delisted them yet.
Hey, let me see if I can put it into the chat.
You can, I can't. Where has my mClassic one gone? Where Thank you.
You're
so
welcome.
I've shortened mClassic. I also have the M cable in here. It is such a overpriced. Oh, one of the early ones has Nightfire in it. Somebody asked me to do that, and it was a cheap game, so I went ahead and bought it. Soul Calibur made a huge difference.
Oh wow! Oh! I didn't even try. Oh man!
Soul Calibur on the Cube, I love it.
On the Cube. Now I want to see the Dreamcast version. See, now so many games now that I'm. How am I gonna finish Ghost of Tsushima if I'm gonna sit here and play
I
all these
actually
damn
haven't
games?
played it today. I feel terrible.
Oh my goodness!
I'm looking to see one that I like. One that I really like. Wind Waker was pretty good. I don't know why I made it 16 minutes long, but it was a good one. I got one with Crazy Taxi, side by side. It's in the list. It's like the 8th one down. A bunch of Saturn ones with and without it. And that's with the RetroTink and HD Retrovision cables. Die Hard, Virtual Racing, Virtual Fighter 2. That's probably the most common of all the games. Well, Jeff, I have a wonderful wife. I'm going to go with that. Okay, so my Animal Crossing's third from the bottom. And then Knife Edge, but Animal Crossing is probably the most noticeable. And it just smooths it out. It's not a huge difference. Jeff said make sure she watches it. Very true. So the Panzer Dragoon remake review that I did, it was a live stream. That one I used the mClassic on as well. I've done a lot of N64 lately. I need to do some other consoles here.
Yeah. So this is, I mean, this really does look good.
Yeah. I've done a lot of the same games, too. With different ways. Oh, you know what? The Soul Calibur's in HDMI, Hyperkin HDMI with the Wii for GameCube games, Volume 2. I'm almost certain. Let me go check. And I think the music got botched, so I had to just put in my own sounds.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this one has it. That's Zelda, Twilight Princess. Yeah. So check this one out. I'm sending it to you right now.
Okay, and we'll put that one
You
up.
can put it in. You can put it in there.
Okay.
So around towards the end of this video, around 5 minutes, Soul Calibur, I switched back and forth between the mClassic and with just the Carby. Oh no! This is the Hyperkin for the Wii.
Okay.
It's a pretty substantive difference. That game doesn't show much of a difference.
So where do you want me to go? I can go to...
Advance a little bit. Go into You can either go into Zelda, but Soul Calibur is the one I'm talking about.
Well, let's go to Soul Calibur.
It's towards the end.
Yep.
There you go. I had to get that version just because Link was in it.
It does look good.
It looks very good. And there it is with the mClassic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm talking about. GameCube is where it's at with this device. Peter, I have not done anything with the C64. I don't have one. I never even had one when it was new. My first computer was an EverX 286 because it's the one my mom had in the house for work.
Sam says Digital Foundry did a good analysis of the mClassic with the Switch.
They did. It's all right. I mean, with the Switch, most of the time you got to drop it down to 720p in order for it to be a decent enough difference. And it's all right, but I with the newer consoles, I usually don't bother with it.
No, I like I said, I didn't see a difference with the PS4. I'll tell you, the biggest difference I saw was in the Dreamcast.
Yeah. Well, what about the GameCube right there?
I
mean, that doesn't even look like it's from that generation.
No, it almost looks like a 360 game.
Yeah, it does. Oh, the R-Type's the one I just did. And there's Zelda. I really should compare that to the Twilight Princess on the Wii U. I don't know, there's a lot of them in there. I've been making mClassic videos for some time.
Yeah. So.
Pretty much since it came out.
Nice.
And I bought mine, it was not sent to me.
Yeah, I haven't bought mine either. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, so again, I'm happy with mine. I'm gonna take the Elgato out of the mix for my next run, just to make sure that the Dreamcast issue is not the Hyperkin cable.
I don't think it is. I've used it before.
Yeah.
I'm almost certain it's the HD60. I ran into all kinds of issues with my 60S, which is why I stopped using it.
And like I said, the only reason that I thought it could be the Hyperkin was, like I said, I recorded 2 hours of Saturn footage, not a single blip. The only blips came from the Dreamcast. But that doesn't mean that it's... But then, like I said, when the screen blanked out, the Elgato did not. So the jitter could come in from...
I have noticed some weird anomalies with this thing. You can't see it because it's black. With the mClassic, where occasionally, if it's bumped, it'll knock out on the output, not the input.
Right.
So, I don't know. It could have been something as simple as that. You have any pets?
No.
Okay.
My cats are not going behind the TV. Where I have it placed, nobody can get to. So, Jeff says, need you guys to do a video on the best game for each console. Called. So maybe we'll, this doesn't necessarily have to be the last collaboration between Stinger and J Prime. We could do other things.
Absolutely.
We could do
I've
other
got a
things.
bunch of games that I'm told are really good that I barely ever played, sitting right behind this computer. I'm looking at them now. I have been hearing Eco and Shadow of the Colossus are phenomenal, and I could barely get into Eco.
That looked good last night when I played it.
Did it? Yeah. What are those games? They were PS2 games, and then they were remastered and released on a Blu-ray for PS3.
Oh. And then, of course, the games that I was showing were Crazy Taxi for the Dreamcast, Virtual Tennis for the Dreamcast, Sonic Adventure for the Dreamcast, the first Sonic Adventure, and then Burning Rangers for the Saturn, and what's the other one? And Clockwork Knight for the Saturn. So those are the games that I showed. And I've got some more footage that's going to be coming up soon as I put together my video, because I also did a little how to hook it up part too. So and the unboxing. So I'm gonna have something.
Just something to keep in mind. The male end of you can't see it because my screen. The male end always goes into the console.
Yes.
Never plug it into the TV that way because it's inversed.
Yes.
You may have to use a female to female adapter in order to be able to make it work.
Yes, it says source.
Does it? I never actually read it.
It says source at the top.
It does.
Yes. So
I did learn the hard way that little shield that says source and classic on it comes right off.
Yeah, be careful.
I did a video about that one where I said my mClassic broke. It still works. And
now,
push it back on and it works fine.
Yeah. Now, by the way, as I said on Twitter, one of the things that I also did was I have that, and I have my HDMI switch now plugged into my TV, because the back of my TV has two USB 5 volt USB plugs on it. One's half amp, one's 1 amp. And the half amp one goes into the mClassic, works just fine. The 1 amp one goes to the Switch. And what's nice about
a full amp.
No, it says it outputs a watt, but it doesn't say anything about an amp.
Okay.
Now, I might switch them to see if that stops the judder, but we'll see. But either way, when the TV turns off, after about 3 or 4 minutes, when the TV finally fully powers down, both of those turn off, so I don't have them, so I don't have to worry about.
Oh, that's fancy. That's pretty handy. I like that.
Yeah, when TV turns on, the mClassic turns on, the HDMI switch turns on.
I have to see if my TV does have a USB port on it, but I don't know if it actually shuts off completely. I think it just goes to sleep, so it stays on.
Yeah, mine shuts off completely. So
I don't actually leave the mClassic plugged in. I know you said you do. I don't. And mainly because I bring it in and out of my office. Where I'm staying right now, I have a TV in here in addition to my 2 monitors. And most of the time I play games on the second monitor so I can stream them. Or I'm just sitting here waiting for something else to work. And then I have the TV on TV. But I have it set up where I can switch it back and forth. But adjacent to this room, I have another room, which is actually where all my games are, where I used to play games.
That makes perfect sense.
Now it's just gotten to the point where this room is a little bit easier because I don't have to bring down a power supply for my laptop. I have all my monitors here around me. It's just far easier. So I hardly ever use that room now. My kids won't go down there unless I'm in here, so they don't play any of those old consoles, but they're happy they have Switches. And I don't know why I went off on that tangent, but I did.
No worries. All right, so let's wrap this up. We've actually gone. Congratulations! We've gone an hour and a half to talk about the Marseille mClassic. The Marseille mClassic. I am too. I want to thank you for doing the first Q&A with me, and again, for those of you, the first Q&A that was on Generational Gamers channel. This is kind of like a crossover, like when MacGyver and Hawaii Five-0 cross. It's kind of like that. The first part of our Q&A where I was asking him questions and he was explaining it to me and getting me in the mood to buy it is on his channel. This is the follow-up where I say officially, I bought it, I like it, I'm happy. So, J Prime, I want to thank you for taking the time twice now to get together with me on this thing.
I had fun. We're cool.
Yeah, so did I. Yeah, like Marvel and DC. There you go, Lance. Marvel versus DC. Marvel and DC crossover. I like it. I'm Superman now.
Or like Capcom. Marvel versus
Capcom. Yes, another good Saturn game. Or was that X? Marvel
was on the
vs. X-Men.
Dreamcast.
Yes. I can't remember. Which one used the 4 meg cart? I think it was X-Men versus...
X-Men versus Street Fighter.
Yeah, I think it was X-Men versus Street Fighter. So, Pong, Tim, he said he
Nice.
purchased the M-Classic recently and he loves it. There
Mom,
you go.
What's your dominant console you've used it with so far?
Yes. Good
MK
question.
versus DC. That was a weird one.
Well, infamous. Or, not infamous. What the... Oh, my God. Why am I blanking on this?
It was a PlayStation 3 game. Actually, Infamous is one that I've been told I need to do.
No,
with
what's the...
Injustice.
Injustice. Oh, my goodness.
Jeff
How did I...
saved the day.
Thank
Yay.
you, Jeff. My brain is starting to shut down on me.
Mine too.
So, but so while we're waiting on Tim to tell us what he uses as his dominant, other than the link that I put in the chat to the one video, tell us a little bit about your channel and where can they
Alrighty.
find you? Where can the good people find the Generational Gamer?
On YouTube. I do have a Twitch account that I barely ever use, so one of these days I'm going to set up Restream so it goes to both of them simultaneously. But right now I haven't done that. So my channel focuses on modern technology for the retro gamer, and many times I will put things side by side so the viewer can decide whether one or both of the devices or multiple devices. I've only done a 4x4 once. That was a Dreamcast. I think it was Power Stone actually. And with and without the mClassic with different devices, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but it's in one of those playlists for the mClassic. In any case, modern technology for the retro gamer, and lots of comparisons. And I started doing live streams because I like to entertain, and if people tell me I'm making them laugh, I'm going to keep on going.
There you go. So Tim has 2 mClassics. He's got us beat. Unless you have 2, which I'm
I
sure
only got
you...
one.
Okay. So he's got us beat.
What
So-
are the mini systems? How do the mini systems benefit from it? Because they're already 720p at the very least. Some of them, I think they're all 720p.
I would imagine the anti-aliasing.
Yeah, but most of them are sprite based. So actually, I
Well,
think they're all...
you could still do anti-aliasing on sprites. For sure.
Yeah, well, the PS1, I could see that one being beneficial.
You know what? I'll tell you when I start playing some Sega CD stuff. So,
You know which games would probably be most beneficial on the 32X? And I have been meaning to do this for a while. Maybe you'll beat me to it. Virtual Fighter and Virtual Racing on the 32X.
so which one do I... I've got neither.
I've got both.
Now, but now I wonder what Star Wars Arcade's going to look like.
I have that too.
An
I have
Afterburner.
basically all 5 of the good games on it. Afterburner.
Night Trap. Ha ha. Yes.
Okay, so I bought Night Trap on the Switch. It was on sale for $4, and I think I overpaid.
Never. Oh, never.
I did a video on Night Trap where I had the entire series of different strokes. And I said, she looks very familiar.
You think? Oh,
Sewer
my
Shark.
goodness.
Jeff, it was Sewer Shark.
That was
another
the pack.
FMV game.
That was the pack-in for the original Sega
So
CD.
I don't actually have a Sega CD, but Sega CD...
I'm sorry, no. That was the pack-in for the Sega CD 2. The pack-in for the original Sega CD was a twofer, actually a threefer. You got Soul Feast, which was awesome. You got Sherlock Holmes, Consulting Detective, and then you got a 3-pack of Columns, Golden Axe.
That's the one where they improved the sound, but made the sound...
Yeah.
Improved the music, but ruined the sound.
Well, Soul Feast did, yes. But Soul Feast, the music in Soul Feast, they took the cartridge music and just jacked it up.
Well, I thought they did that with Golden Axe as well.
No, those were just straight Genesis ports.
Sulfice.
Yeah.
All right, I'm glad it didn't have another syllable. There we go. I'm gonna have to keep going.
Oh my god. All right, so
All right.
I think we're
So-
gonna call it. But hey, this was great, man. This really was great.
I had fun. Thank you.
No, I
Thank
did
you for
too.
having me.
Of course, man, and thanks for having me over on your channel. And I hope to do it again.
Of course.
You know, this is I like this. I have to talk to the gentleman about getting you into the guild.
Yeah, I don't know what the guild is, but
All right, we're just
I saw it and I was like, all right, what is this guild and why do I want one?
Well, the Gamers United Guild is basically a group. It's not an affiliate group or anything like that. We're just a fun group of positive,
I don't have to
good
pay you
guys,
money,
gamers.
do I?
You do not have to pay a cent.
All right,
Look,
good.
well, except for Pete, we take a cut of Pete's.
Okay.
But but like just good
Well,
guys.
he's buying every Xbox game.
Yeah.
I'm guessing he can afford it.
Peter says it right. The seal of positive gamers. You know how Nintendo had the Nintendo seal on their games, which is a seal of
Yeah,
quality.
it used to be quality. Now it's just a seal.
Now it's just a seal. No, the Gamers Guild, the Gamers United Guild is just a group of like-minded, friendly, fun, and positive gamers, and
Yep.
it's what we do. So
Well,
there's
I think I'm
us.
quite positively positive. So let's go.
Unless you have to tell someone to go to hell, remember?
Yeah, well, you have to be aggressive sometimes. You can't always just accept whatever somebody's going to hand you.
Well, no, not always.
Don't have
So-
me negotiate in this guild. I'm like the Pawn Stars when it comes to negotiation.
Oh, that might work to our advantage.
So,
And classics for everyone.
so I was at a flea market when I was looking for retro stuff, and my son was with me, and he got in the way of a deal. He was trying to negotiate. I pull him on the side. Son, you do not know how to negotiate. Now, I'm Jewish. My wife is Catholic. And he turns to me and he goes, well, Daddy, I'm only half Jewish.
That's great.
So the apple doesn't fall very far from the tree.
It only falls halfway down the tree and hits you on one shoulder. So, oh my goodness, that's funny. No, but
Yeah, he's a character.
that sounds like it. Sounds like it. So, but yeah, so and it's us, it's TXR Podcast, which they do a great job with Xbox coverage. And today was Four Guys with Quarters.
Yes, I did show him, Jeff. I taught him how to. I said, let the other person do the talking. When you have a chance to seize on something, respond. Try to lowball, but not be insulting, and then work your way up.
At a flea market.
Anywhere. Whenever I buy a car, it's the same deal.
Oh, sure.
I've never seen the same person after I've been in there. After I purchase a car, I've never seen the same person in that dealer afterwards.
No. That's good. They have your picture on the wall. Here comes J Prime. Oh. Anyway, so that's today was Four Guys with Quarters. Tomorrow night is Retro Renegades, which is one hell of a show. Let me tell you. That is that is not safe for children, by the way, just so you know.
I say isn't safe for children either. So my son, he'll go, Daddy, you shouldn't say that. I might repeat it.
If you're old
Well,
enough
if you
to
know
say that,
If you know
right.
you shouldn't repeat it, then don't repeat it.
You're old enough to say it. That's just an excuse. What's up, Steak and Corpse? So then tomorrow night's Retro Renegades. On Wednesday night is Miko All Access on Peach Channel. Always a fun time. Thursday night, of course, is the NLG show, the actual NLG show, where everybody else is going to be here. We're going to talk this week. We're going to talk about Sony State of Play because there was some good stuff there. We might be talking about I guess we're going to have to talk about this Xbox Series X thing, and why Project xCloud may not be going to the Apple Store ever.
Okay, so since I will not be able to participate, the other day I was on Max's channel, and I cut out those sections and put it and compiled it into a video because I talked about several things, and the first thing was the annoying things about installations and downloads of modern games, because like Batman Arkham Asylum, or Arkham Knight, whenever the hell that game came out, and I bought it, I got home, let it install, took forever, scared the crap out of my kid when he was younger too, because I figured it's Batman, he's not going to be afraid, and then you see Joker and the dead. Anyway, by the time I finished installing, by the time I finished updating, I had to get the kids ready for bed. That was part one. The second part was about the future of Xbox. I strongly believe that Microsoft will not be making more consoles after this generation. And I said that in my videos in the latter half. And the reason is because they're making xCloud. The Xbox came out at a time when PC gaming was kind of at a lull.
Hey, Infinite.
Hello. And the Xbox was really a solution for that, because console gaming was taking over. That's not really the problem. That's not really a problem anymore. And they've got their xCloud, which is their Netflix for games. It's going to be on this. It's going to be on virtually everything. I don't expect them to continue going down the rabbit hole of making a console. They don't need to.
I don't know. And Jeff's right. Could be a stream box, but you know, I don't know that answer.
That.
You know,
Series S. S could be short for stream. Who knows?
Ooh, that's a good point. So,
yeah, I come up with them every once in a while, but I'm overdue now. So we'll see if anything else comes out of my mouth before you hang up.
well, except we're gonna hang up now because we're done with the stream.
That's right. All right.
Because we did go. This is 2 hours on the mClassic. So
yeah.
now I got to go back and play this some more because I really enjoyed Burning Rangers. So for those of you who are jumping in at the very end, you know what? I will give you one last look at the mClassic in all of its glory.
This isn't it?
No, this is Burning Rangers.
It doesn't have the mClassic? It looks
It does.
phenomenal.
No, it does. But if I'm going to show off something, I want people to one more time take a look at Crazy Taxi and how incredible this game looks. Upscaled.
It does look good.
Upscaled to 1080p in mClassic's retro game mode, which is 4x3, and how this looks basically as good as the arcade, if not better. So, folks, if you do anything with retro gaming, if you've got a Dreamcast or Saturn or a GameCube, as J Prime says is the best to look at, a Wii, you might owe it to yourself to give this little thing a try. It's $100. You can get it on Amazon. What's funny was I ordered it on Amazon and got it on Amazon Prime. I ordered it at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and on a Sunday, and by 5 o'clock Sunday, it was in my house. So Amazon is that magic. This is, if you're a retro gamer, this might be something that you absolutely have to have, in my opinion. And I know, J Prime, that in your first video that I watched on this, you said, "Is this worth $100?" No, but yeah, do you still feel that way, or
no? I probably should do an update on that, shouldn't I?
Yeah, because the more, I mean, the Dreamcast made it worth $100 just on its own. Everything else that I'm going to get out of this thing is gravy. Just, I mean, one more time, folks. Just take a look at what you're seeing.
The mClassic by Marseille Incorporated.
Yep, I'll end up adding the link to the Marseille in the description. All right, hold on. Jeff says show the tennis. All right, I'll show the tennis real quick, and then we're going to break out of here because this really was a 2-hour stream that I was only expecting.
Somebody subscribed to me. I'm guessing it's from this stream, so thank you.
Oh, excellent. Very excellent. See?
9:49 now.
See, I'm not just a king, I'm a kingmaker.
Thank you.
So, well, you know what? A lot of folks from OEB Pete came over and subscribed to us. And a lot of the reason that we're where we're at, and this is what it's also, in all honesty, this is what it's all about. Support, be supported. This is the folks that are in the chat. Honestly, these guys come and hang out with us Thursday nights, and these are the folks that I would rather hang out with than anybody else because everybody here's a good gamer. We all love
sweet.
games.
Thank you. I'm at 950 now.
There you go.
You know what that means? TubeBuddy says that I've met a milestone.
Fantastic. Woo-hoo! Awesome.
Phone hasn't said that yet. Very disappointing. But it also
it's okay.
818. So.
And you know what? We got 12 people sitting in here watching us right now. I mean, that's not bad for a very quickly put together talking about the mClassic. We've spent this time talking about, a piece of equipment. Infinite is awesome, man. He's a great guy. By the way, please don't worry about how crappy my gameplay is here, because, like I said, I was coming off Outlaw Tennis, and you could hold down the button to kind of load up your shot.
Did this one ever come out for the Wii?
Virtua Tennis? I don't know if Virtua. There was another tennis game called Topspin, and I don't know if that ever.
There was out. So much that came out for the Wii, but not the games you really wanted. Yeah. So, it could have been.
Yeah. So Infinite.
For a while, every one of these motion games. My parents, they had a Wii they still have the Wii at their house. I had to stand in line to buy one of those because my mother played it at my house. She goes, "This is really fun. I like this. I need to get one." I don't think they've used it in like 3 years. But for a while, I was buying motion games for them because that's what they wanted to play. Now they're happy. Before COVID, my son would go over and play Wii bowling with my dad.
Aw, that's nice.
Yeah, and then he'd get upset and turn it off when he wasn't playing.
I'm trying to get my kids to play Boom Blocks. It came in our first retro game treasure box, and I can't get the kids to play it. I gotta get so.
Is it a little too old? I mean, what's the problem?
I don't know. So, but by the way, Infinite, just so you know, this is native off of the Dreamcast with a Hyperkin cable, which outputted 640 by 480, and the mClassic graphics processor has upscaled this to 1080p with anti-aliasing and all kinds of stuff. So, I know it's marketing, but they market it as like a graphics card update for your consoles. I'm not going that far.
Graphics card. I wouldn't say it's that
I'm
far.
not going to go that far. But
it's a smoother and an upscaler. That's basically all it does.
But it's cheaper than buying an OSSC and a FrameMeister. That's for sure.
Definitely more than a FrameMeister. Also, the FrameMeister does not have HDMI in. Neither does the OSSC.
No, it does not. You have to come off of other things. So
you gotta convert it and then bring it back. Now, my understanding is the new OSSC, the Pro, is going to have an HDMI in.
Right. But this is just, this is a $100 mClassic and a $34 Hyperkin cable. This is.
No, it's good.
It's eye-opening. It honestly is. And this little video, this is just Elgato video, so it doesn't even do total justice to the game.
Did you record this with Elgato software?
No, OBS.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, night and day difference.
Yeah, the Elgato takes too much CPU. The game capture software, way too much CPU.
Yep.
So.
And also, with anything that's below 720, I've noticed that it will, it'll artifact it a bit.
Yeah. No, this is right off the OBS. So.
Cool.
So, yeah. So lots of fun, and so once again, I want to say thanks, J Prime. We're over 2 hours, so I think we're gonna call it here. We are. I'm gonna go up and visit with my wife for a little bit. And I know you've got to get to bed.
I do get to bed. There's no amount of coffee that's gonna keep me awake tomorrow. That's for sure.
No, so yeah, I know. So, but seriously, thank you for hanging out with me and going over my impressions of the mClassic, showing me some other stuff, and thank you for having me over on your channel earlier in the month to talk about why I should get it. So, and folks, look for like I said, I'm either going to do this as a standalone video with lots of different coverage, or I might just squeeze this into one of my retro way back segments on the NLG show. I haven't decided yet. So, but either way, I want to thank everybody. 10 or 12 people to sit here and watch us talk about a graphics processor. I'll take that any day of the week, especially when it's our brothers like Lance and Jeff and Tim and Infinite and Jay. God, who else popped in here? There's mostly those guys, Peter and Sam, and I guess I could say Michael Garvey too.
I think he's gone. He hasn't said anything.
No, he hasn't. He's been quiet. Supersonic Station stopped in. Daz was here. Your friend Nicholas was here.
Yep.
Just scrolling back up to chat. Niall, who probably is asleep by now because it is 6 hours over there in Ireland. So, but I love Niall. Niall's a good kid. And Monkey Punch, of course. So, want to thank you all. And so we'll see you again. I'll see you on Wednesday on Pete's channel and Thursday over here on the NLG show. And make sure you're following. Make sure we get some more subs over to Generational Gamer. Let's get him to 1,000. And check out all his great content as well. So thank you, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. And play on, gamers.
Bye-bye.